Out of the way there tomorrow.
The HECA being referred to is the High Definition Extravehicular Activity Mobility Unit Camera Assembly. HECA for short. Really, it is the high-definition cameras that are mounted to each of their spacesuits. We may be getting some really nice, clear, high-definition views from the helmet cameras. If not, there are backup standard-definition cameras that we can always rely on as we walk through today's procedures.
He'd almost stay for a minute, but doesn't want to. All right, tomorrow I think I'm going to get the wire tie ready.
Yeah, we agree.
Okay. You agree? I agree.
We can prepare a long wire tie, Shane, and let me know if you need words on how to attach it.
Okay. Okay. And Jenny, I'm trying to I don't know if you have HECA or WVS view of, I think I'm on the forward side of the thermal cover. It looks like something is undone right here. Maybe that doesn't help closing it. See what I'm saying?
Okay, copy, Tama. We don't.
There's a missing fastener.
We don't have your helmet cam up yet, but we'll look into it.
Okay. Check. I can hold it close for you, Sean. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Twist. One more there. Okay, now this side on the cloth loop, I think. Is that right? Yep. I'm gonna release my rat here. That handle right there, the one that goes to it. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. And then just one so that we can open it quickly if we need to. Okay. I can just round it. Something like that. A bit more tight if you can, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I think it stays close. Extent. If we can go, I could route it the other way and maybe get it tighter. What do you think? You see that view?
So we don't have your helmet views until we do buddy checks. So if you have a config that you're happy with, let's do our buddy checks and then we can take a final look at it.
I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Buddy checks, if you're ready, Shane. All right, let me get in position over here. You're coming up, sorry. All right, I see 2 green lights on your helmet, the WVS and the HECA. I see 1, 2, 3. New York Station tabs up. I see 1, 2 handles down. And I see your tether config. You get your red hook closed and locked on your left gearing extender. Goes to your red reel, unlocked. Get your yellow hook locked on your green reel, unlocked. And you get your green reel on your red reel. good config.
Yeah, sounds good.
I see your bag on your BRT.
Got both your green lights, so 2 lights are on. 2 mini workstation tabs up. BRT tab up.
Okay.
Your tethers are
Handles down.
just behind you there. Let me see. A little left.
Yeah, I think they go to my left.
Down and right handles are down. And let's see, your tethers are coming off your left side or right? I can't tell from here.
I think left. Let me move.
I see them on your right side here.
On my right side? Yeah. Okay. Let me go across my body. My back.
So your back, yeah, let's get your back.
Thomas Pesquet in the suit on the left with the with the red stripes, working with Shane Kimbrough, NASA astronaut, suit with the white stripes or the unmarked suit. They're performing something called buddy checks, making sure all the tethers and the body restraint tethers, the crew lock bags, their helmet camera assemblies, everything is in a good configuration before they head out to today's work site, which is the Port 6 truss.
I'll take a baseline HAP check from both of you as well.
Hop is dry, Jenny.
Up is dry, VT.
Hey, Jenny, if you're getting on cameras, do you wanna see that what looks like an undone fastener on the thermal cover?
If you guys are happy with it, we're gonna leave it here and continue with the EVA portion, as long as you're convinced it'll stay closed with the config you set up.
Yeah, it's gonna stay as it is. Yep.
Okay, so just a reminder, Shane will be leading to the work site now that your buddy checks are complete. Shane, you can begin your translation with Thomas following.
Okay, out of your way, Shane.
Okay, copy that. I'll come to that handrail where you are now and cut this orientation. So you have that.
In a bit, I'll be right behind you.
Tether away from yours there.
And with good buddy checks, both of their suits look good in a good configuration as they head out to the work site. Shane Kimbrough being the first one out, he'll be translating right over to the work site at the Port 6 truss. EV1 or Thomas Pesquet will make a quick stop at something called the CETA cart, where there is a crew lock bag waiting for him to pick up and head over to the work site to join Kimbrough.
And you see my tether too. Don't go too far.
I see your tethers right behind you.
You're gonna clear it.
Yeah, it's if you lift your feet up, it's kind of on behind, and then rotate your feet towards the airlock. You're good. You're good to go. There you go. Right. Great. Now you for you now. There you go. Now you're clear.
Thank you.
We have about 4 minutes until sunrise, and I have a caution for both of you.
Go ahead, Jenny. We're listening.
Avoid contact with the deployed tusk cable, zenith and nadir cedar rails.
Copy. Copy.
Hey, Tamam, on phase 1. I see you back there.
Right behind you, going up to see a sparrow.
And Shane, since you're leading our translation today, we'll have you pause to verify the anchor hooks are in a good config.
Okay, copy.
Those will be under the FHRC.
Copy, Jenny.
Shane, you're looking for mile marker 9180.
9180, copy. Sound good, Tomas? Good. I'm going to pause here, Tomas, look at the safety tethers. All right. Your anchor hook is closed and locked on 3652.
Yeah.
You, I think.
Yeah, but
I think we're a little twisted here.
Shane, look, I think that anchor hook, that reel should come back to me, but it goes all the way back to, I think, the top of the seal spur. So I think I'm actually strapped somewhere. I'm going to have to go back, clear it.
Copy, Tomas.
I'll go back in a minute.
Is it behind you?
Yeah, I think coming from behind me, which is not supposed to be the case. Come from where you are.
Yeah.
I think it's wrapped around something. Maybe a matter of going back and figuring it.
To move out to a work site, the astronauts need to follow a pre-designated path. Along the way, they have specific markers. You can see some of the numbers from what you're seeing now is a high-definition view from that HECA camera. We're getting some good connection here. Those tethers have to be connected to a specific reel for the work site that they will be primarily working on, which is, in this case, the 2B power channel work site. This is the Earth-facing side, or the nadir side, of the International Space Station.
I think it's one of the lab stuff. No,
Short handover.
Here now, and I'm going to be on my way.
Okay, great. Come on.
We're in another handover period, losing video temporarily from the International Space Station as we hand over between the tracking and data relay satellites that provide the video coming from the International Space Station, orbiting 250 miles above the Earth. Right now, it is approaching the western border of Mexico over the Pacific Ocean. Now we're about to enter into an orbital daytime soon.
I'll be there. I'll take a look.
I'll see you.
We're back with you.
Copy. Doesn't look awake here, just retracting.
Yeah. No, but reflecting great.
Better there.
Again, this is U.S. Spacewalk number 75 out of the Quest airlock, continuing some of the work done just a few days ago on the 74th to begin the installation of the solar array out on the 2B power channel. You'll see some of the helmet camera designations. Thomas Pesquet on the standard definition camera will be using number 20, Kimbrough 22. This will be the fourth spacewalk in Thomas Pesquet's career, all with NASA astronaut Shane Kimbrough. For Kimbrough, this will be his 8th. On this, the 240th spacewalk in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. Still getting some high-definition views. This one coming from Thomas Pesquet's high-definition camera. He again is wearing the suit with the red stripes.
playing well today, huh?
Oh. Yeah, looks like it is non-retracting.
We copy, Thomas. Your green reel is having trouble retracting. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, Jenny.
Yeah, look good. Okay. How's that good there?
Yeah, now it looks good.
All right, take a look at mine.
Yours looks good.
Should be coming out of my left side.
Oh. It's between your legs, so point your legs at me. Legs at me. Don't rotate, just straight pitch. More. I'll pitch you a little bit. Clear.
Thanks, sir. Better?
Yeah.
All right, heading out.
Great work, you two.
Yours is on top of mine, but it's not a very huge deal, I guess. I'll just clear my reel.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on your reel, too.
Yeah.
Copy. Shane, you'll be translating directly to the worksite, and Thomas, you'll be stopping at the port cedar cart. I have warnings for both of you when you're ready.
Okay, we're ready.
Grapple shafts and curvet coupling in the teeth is a no-touch zone. There are sharp edge hazards on the empty rail attachment lug near the 2 Bravo IEA inboard and radiator corner, and on the pit pins on the ticker and the sticker. Those both don't meet EVA kick loads.
Copy.
Copy.
Once the astronauts reach certain milestones in their translation path, you'll be hearing these periodic notes, cautions, hazards along the way, just making sure as they reach specific milestones that they attempt to cross certain thresholds. In this case, this is an attachment lug and a few pins on the translation path out to the Port 6 truss, making sure that their navigation path is very precise and delicate at some of the parts of the International Space Station, maneuvering very swiftly over these areas. They'll be making their way out to the work site very shortly. We'll be seeing the glimpses of the rollout solar arrays that are positioned on the modification kit of the 2B power channel very shortly.
Shane, your next step as you translate outboard is going to be to drop your green hook once you're on P6. Before crossing the Sarge, check your gauntlets are down.
Okay, copy, Jenny. Gauntlets are down.
Copy, gauntlets down on EV2.
I'm at the port cedar cart, Jenny. I'm going to attempt to my crew bag.
Copy, Thomas.
Getting good views of Shane Kimbrough. Again, he's in the suit with the white stripes, or the unmarked suit. He's going straight out to the worksite today, passing the port 4 truss. Additional solar arrays there. There'll be one solar array will be upgraded as part of the augmentation plan. That'll be on the nadir side. He's making his way out, though, to the port 6 truss. Both of the mast canisters there, that's the sort of tin can looking structure at the base of the solar arrays. Both of the mast canisters out at the port 6 truss are affixed with modification kits. Now coming more clearly into view, the white strut structures you see coming out from the mast canisters. Again, Kimbrough will be making his way out to the nadir side. You can sort of see it on the top of your screen there. That's the nadir side, and he'll be making his way out to the worksite there, where there is an IROSA Solar Array positioned soft docked on the modification kit out there.
Shane, your green hook location is P6 handrail 5312.
Copy, I'm there now, and that's in work.
Copy.
Getting some high definition views from Shane Kimbrough's helmet camera.
Copy. You can translate to the mod kit. Thomas, after stowing the crew lock bag, we'll check your gauntlets are down, and then you'll be dropping your green hook on P6. I have 7 cautions for both of you.
Hey, Jenny. You can go ahead on the cautions. My gauntlets are down.
Copy. Avoid contact with the deployed and stowed radiators. No sudden movements on the mast canister or mod kit. Translate slowly. Avoid cyclic loading. Battery adapter plate cables on the IEA are a potential snag. While you are both working on the mod kit, you cannot simultaneously impart loads. Sudden stops and quick grabs are not allowed, and there is a 30-pound max lateral load on the mod kit.
Copy all.
Copy all.
Getting good views of Kimbrough continuing to make his way out to the worksite.
Once you're at the mod kit, you'll be stowing the crew lock bag on the left lower strut handrail.
Okay, copy.
And Thomas,
He's got a...
crossing the Sarge, I'll get a check. Gauntlets are down.
My gauntlets are down.
Copy. You'll be dropping your green hook on P6 handrail 5309.
P6 5309 for my green hook.
Good read back.
Kimbrough has a crew lock bag in tow, basically a work bag that he's taking out to the worksite. He'll be temporarily stowing it out at the worksite. Pesquet has completed his task of stowing the crew lock bag that he towed from the airlock out to what's called the CETA cart that's on the truss segment of the space station, now configuring his tethers as he makes his way out to meet Shane Kimbrough out at the worksite, now getting good views of Pesquet as he makes his way out.
And I'm at 5309.
Copy, Thomas.
As Pesquet makes his way out to the work site, he's going to grab a foot restraint, tow it with him to the work site, and install it right in front of the mounting bracket. Once he gets it installed, he will be the one to ingress or enter into the foot restraint, and that's where he will be for the primary portion of today's tasks of unfolding the ISS Rollout Solar Array that's out right above Shane Kimbrough's head from this angle.
So I'll get working on the relock bag.
Shane.
Copy, Shane. And as a reminder, you'll be stowing this on the stanchion which is furthest from the mounting bracket or wherever is most convenient for troubleshooting. But keep in mind that we have a lot that we are attaching to these handrail stanchions.
Okay, you said furthest from the mod kit, not like the other day?
Yeah, we suggest that you're going to be temp stowing it on the handrail that you're holding onto now, but the stanchion which is furthest from the mod kit, so near your left hand.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Copy that.
Just letting you know those might be clobbered today because we got a lot going on.
I understand.
Danny, my green hook is on 5309, and then I've resumed my translation behind Shane.
Copy, Thomas. Next step for you is you'll be reading to and retrieving the APFR from WIF 18.
APFR and WIF 18.
Good read back.
That's where I am right now.
And Shane, the next step that I have for you is actually going to be to start pre-staging adjustable equipment tethers on the mod kit handrails. And it's looking like the wire tie from the cable routing task that you completed in the last CVA, it might take up that entire wine glass stanchion. So we might have to have you loosen it a little bit in order to fit a small hook on that stanchion. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a shot, but if not, I'll loosen it up.
Copy.
Sounds good. And it's connected on the other end, so that's okay.
Affirm.
All right, so from this one that I'm looking at, I'm going to the handrail, correct, with the small?
With the small, you are attaching from the left upper strut handrail to IROSA, and then with a large small, you're going from the stanchion with the wire tie for the cable routing to the IROSA clevis.
Okay, copy. Don't see the clevis. I'm looking for that.
That's no, I don't see it. Further out from where you are.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That hand a bit.
I have my rep on the FGFR. I'm ready to retrieve it.
Copy, Thomas.
Okay, Jenny, I have the one from the upper handrail to the IROSA. In place?
Copy. That looks great. We can see it in your helmet cam, Shane. We do have some concerns about the tether point in the clevis fitting a large hook. So do you mind fit checking that for us?
And the clevis, that's pretty far outboard of me now?
No, actually, it's toward the center of the mounting bracket. It's the gold thing, which is pretty close to the adjustable equipment tether that you already put on the outboard side of IROSA.
Oh, that. Okay, gotcha.
Yep, that's it. So you'll be routing the large, small adjustable with the large hook through the clevis down to the wine glass stanchion with the wire tie on it for the cables.
Okay, yeah, that looks like it's going to be a little tight, but let's give it a shot.
Copy. And Thomas, you'll be following the same translation path outboard that you followed in the first IEA, or the first EVA. So that means a fair lead around the IEA corner and a fair lead outboard of your original APFR.
Sounds good, Jenny. And when the APFR, the English said was extended. I actually didn't check before I pulled it out. I think it's going to be fine for the translation, but let's change to put eyes on it.
Yeah, that's a stiff one, too.
Copy. Good checks.
So this helmet camera view is from Thomas Pesquet. He's got the foot restraint in tow after grabbing it along his translation path, or the path to get out from the airlock to the worksite. He'll be ingressing it as part of the first procedure, and they'll both, Pesquet and Kimbrough, be using the foot restraint throughout today's activities. Meanwhile, Kimbrough getting a head start on some of the activities, working on a tether between the strut that is holding the IROSA Solar Array and the solar array itself.
And Shane, I have a warning for you when you're ready.
Go ahead.
It looks like it's pretty close to where you are now. When you are on the outboard side of the mod kit, avoid contacting the legacy blanket boxes and the protruding trunnions.
Copy.
Getting close to reef 38, Shane.
Yeah. See ya.
Thomas, let me know when you're ready for APFR install settings.
Well, Jenny, a minute.
Wait, come on.
Okay. The best body position to be away from this APFR.
So again, on the left, Shane Kimbrough working on some adjustable equipment tethers. These are part of the procedures that were added to help secure the IROSA Solar Array to the mounting bracket after they were unable to do so on the previous spacewalk. This is one of the additions to the procedures to help secure it and align the solar array. Meanwhile, on the right side, Thomas Pesquet working on getting the foot restraint so he can get some of the bolts that are needed. There is a single bolt that will help to release the rollout solar array. Right now it's sort of folded in half, and that'll help it to unfold it into its position to align nice and straight and level onto the mounting bracket.
Take on the roll.
and 9er on the yaw, correct.
Yeah, I tried to come through kind of on the inboard side towards the center of the mounting bracket and the outboard, and I could not get. Close.
Jenny on the APFR in 38. The paddles are out. Black on black. And the grip tool and track test.
Copy.
Nicely done.
That's a good APFR install, Thomas. And Shane, it looks like the config that you have with the tethers is good for now. We can adjust that later if we need to, but we're happy with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll just temp down it there, but I'll leave it there for now. And I think next is driving the bolts, correct?
Yep, that's right. You're going to be releasing the M bolts that you drove to torque on the last EVA. You'll be using your PGT for this, and as a reminder, it's a Bravo 7 setting, so you might have to brace yourself.
Am I getting the APFR?
We don't have you in the APFR to release these bolts, but if you need it, we can consider it.
It's right here, otherwise it's kind of in the way. So let me know if you're good with that.
Checking.
Kimbrough getting started with the pistol grip tool, sort of a space drill to release a series of 4 bolts that will be needed as part of the procedures to unfold the IROSA Solar Array.
Just go around it.
And I can, I can talk you through that. Actually, your next step is to release the R6 bolts, but we're not going to have you do that until Shane's released the M bolts. And Shane, EV down here, EVA continued to talk, and we are going to have you change that tether config. So a go back to the large small hook. We're going to have you swap the hooks on that AET. So that means that the large hook will be on the mod kit and the small hook will be on IROSA. But the handrails that you have it attached to are correct.
Okay, copy that.
And Jenny, can you remind me what the yaw is supposed to be for the PFR with 31?
Checking.
Kimbrough going to revisit the adjustable equipment tethers that he used to tie together the struts and the IROSA, the solar array itself. That's currently positioned in a soft dock on the mounting bracket. This is one of the procedures that was added to help to align the IROSA once it's unfolded to get into a hard dock position and begin the procedures for deploying it. Meanwhile, Pesquet working on the adjustable foot restraint. He'll be entering into the foot restraint to get just access to 1 bolt that's needed. One of the steps, once they are done driving some of these bolts, both of them using pistol grip tools or the space drills, the next step will be to unfold the IROSA. We're continuing to answer questions using the hashtag AskNASA. This next one comes from Dan on Twitter. Some of the views you're seeing, there are shiny mirrors on their wrists. That is for controlling some of the suit's temperature control and other configurations on the front of their suits. They're not able to see directly those dials and some of the controls on there, and so the mirrors provide access to view some of those controls.
Before your next step. so I'm still getting an answer about that APFR ingress for Shane.
Okay.
And Shane, you can ingress the APFR to drive those bolts. Let us know if you have any reach issues. And again, this is Bravo 7.
Okay. What's your head saying? You're right underneath the...
It'll be too much?
Yeah. Okay. I think you don't have room to do it unless you lean back a lot.
I'll just BRT.
Yeah. That's a good call. And Jenny, for R6, I have to be in my APFR in wave 31, so I'll put that ingress to work.
Okay, copy. Just be aware of your head clearance with IROSA and Shane.
I have a good visual on IROSA and Shane for now. Also good.
Hey, Jenny, I see Bravo 7. The other settings.
Counter 2.
Bravo 7, counter 2.
We're expecting 14 turns. The bolts should spring out when released.
Copy.
From this angle on the left, you can see Shane Kimbrough. He currently has a pistol grip tool working with 4 bolts. Those 4 bolts need to be unscrewed first before Thomas Pesquet, you see on the right, can access his bolt. Now he's in position right in front of what will be the middle of the IROSA, and he's got to access 1 bolt after Kimbrough is done with his 4.
And Thomas, while Shane is releasing the M bolts, another small change to the procedure. Since we're swapping between 2 sockets, which are on either of your PGTs today, we're actually going to pre-stage both PGTs, temp stowing them on the mod kit. So we have as written for you to release R6 next, but while you're waiting, if you can reach, you can temp stow your PGT on the right lower strut upper handrail.
Oh, it's it. My back. I don't think I can get there.
Copy. If you can't, there's no rush. We can do it after the R6 bolt as well.
I'll do that.
All right, trying to get a body position. I got M34s out. Jenny?
Copy. M34 release. Do you have a turn count?
15.
15 turns. M34 released.
Nice work, Shane.
Yeah. The other ones are going to be hard, just body position-wise. Good enough.
Copy. We understand.
When it's unfolded, you'll be in the APFR. It's going to be sweet.
Try this other one over here. 32 just shut off kind of midway there, Jimmy, so let me crank it back on.
Copy.
Okay, Bravo 7, counter 2 is set.
Good read back.
M32.
Copy, M32.
From the helmet camera view of Shane Kimbrough, 2 bolts down, 2 to go. After he's done with his final 2 bolts, Thomas Pesquet will be able to access the bolt that he's currently in position right in front of.
One or two doesn't look like it's down as far as the other one. All right, 16 turns, 32.
Copy, 16 turns, M32 released.
I haven't seen the tethers, Shane. Does it look like it's nice and solid? Tethers to the IROSA?
Yeah, I mean, it's mine are loose right now, so I'll tighten them if we need it. They're in good position.
Okay.
3 bolts down. Kimbrough driving his 4th and final bolt.
We actually like how loose they are for now because that'll give us a lot of play when we try and get the alignment right in a few minutes.
We need some play, but not too much play either. So yeah, we'll play by ear.
Yep.
Understood. You'll definitely be using your judgment to make sure that they are as taut as you want.
All right, M33, Jimmy, about probably 15 turns.
M33 released 15 turns.
Let me get to this one.
Thomas, those are 3 of the 4 M bolts released, so you can ready your PGT.
Copy, Jenny. I got my PD. I'm going to count and then got you for setting.
Copy.
Correction, Kimbrough drove 3 bolts, now working on the 4th and final while Pesquet readies the pistol grip tool or the space drill to access his bolt that he's currently in position in on top of the foot restraint on the right of your screen.
Bravo 2, counter 2, 16.0.
All right, 15 turns there on 31, which is released, Jimmy.
Copy, 15 turns on M31. Great job, Shane. Those are all the M bolts released. We're going to have you temp stow your PGT now on the crew lock bag.
Okay.
Again,
Go for R6, Jenny.
yep, you have a go to release R6, Thomas. We're expecting 18 to 20 turns. The bolt will spring out when released.
Copy. North.
Copy. Be mindful that when you're releasing this bolt, it is the bolt holding the free side of IROSA to the side which is attached to the mounting bracket. So we'll want to be careful with that free end.
Then you'll have eyes on it.
Not yet. Let me stow on this PGT and then I'll be with you.
Okay, so I'll stop right there.
Okay.
15 turns for now.
We copy.
Kimbrough putting away the space drill that he's been using, the pistol grip tool in his tool bag. Meanwhile, Pesquet driving his single bolt on his side of the IROSA. Once this is complete, he will get out of the foot restraint, and together, Pesquet and Kimbrough will work to unfold the IROSA.
Copy, Shane.
All right, tomorrow, what am I doing?
So I'm driving R6. This is the release bolt, so make sure it doesn't unfold inadvertently, I think.
A-firm.
Keep eyes on it. You ready?
Yep,
I got it.
we agree. And Shane, if you could just maintain control of that free end when Thomas releases the bolt and egresses his APFR, that would be good.
Copy. I got it.
We got 20 turns, and the bolt popped out. So I'm going to go ahead and egress the APFR.
Copy. 20 turns on R6. Bolt popped out. We agree you can egress the APFR, and again, you'll be temp stowing your PGT on the right lower strut upper handrail. Shane, you'll be staying in this config until Thomas temp stows that PGT and pre-stages his tethers on the outboard side of the right side of the mod kit.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy.
With that bolt driven out by Thomas Pesquet, you see him getting out of the foot restraint. That will allow him to get into a position as Kimbrough continues to hold the IROSA Solar Array in place. That front part now loose and able to swing out in front, but he'll need the help of Thomas Pesquet for this next set of procedures to unfold the solar array.
Copy, Thomas. We suggest temp stowing the PGT on the stanchion furthest from the mounting bracket.
I'm throwing the PGT on the stanchion furthest from the mounting bracket. The one at the bottom of the
one above you.
Oh, so
the stanchion on that handrail above you.
A-firm.
So closer to the mounting bracket.
Yep.
Yeah, right there.
Closer to the mounting bracket, we just suggest it's the stanchion, the wine glass stanchion, which is furthest from the mounting bracket,
okay,
so that you don't clobber the one at the top, because that'll have a adjustable equipment tether hook on it as well as the wire tie.
I got you. Thanks for the clarification.
No problem.
All right. PGT doesn't have a rep on it, so I use a rep from my mini workstation, Jenny.
Copy, Thomas. You can also keep the PGT in your swing arm and lock the bayonet fitting. As long as it's in sight, then you can move your red over.
Move the red over while the PGT is in the bayonet fitting.
As long as it's in view and you can see that it's locked, 15 seconds to hand over.
Copy. That's what you did, Shane?
I had another one on there.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. We can just keep it in there and just hand it to me when I need it.
Yeah, I think that's, I think.
Another handover of video from the International Space Station. Again, we'll be having these handovers periodically. What you were seeing before we lost that signal was the helmet camera view from Shane Kimbrough looking at Thomas Pesquet. He's finding the right place to stow that pistol grip tool, that space drill, because the next set of procedures will be together. Kimbrough and Pesquet working to unfold the IROSA. Pesquet is ready with some tethers ready to strap his end once Kimbrough unfolds it from his side.
We're back with you after the handover.
All right, Jenny, how about I keep my PGT and then I'll hand it to Shane when he needs it.
Yep.
Think that works?
That's totally fine. We're just trying to save you a socket swap, and that also does the job.
Okay. I'll keep it with me if that's fine.
Copy. Your next step, Thomas, is to translate to the right outboard side of the mod kit for IROSA Unfold.
Right outboard of the mod kit.
And I'm stable here tomorrow, not leaving, so you got it. Okay.
And Thomas, you'll be staging an adjustable equipment tether to attach to IROSA once we unfold it. So I have that handrail stanchion when you need it.
Okay. Please, go ahead.
You'll be attaching the small adjustable with the hook going to the right upper strut handrail. Looks like you just put a tether down there. Make sure that it's the stanchion closest to the mounting bracket.
Copy. Right upper strut and rail extension closest to the mounting bracket. Working on it.
Good words.
Okay, I have an AET stage there.
Copy. I'll take a glove inspection, HAP check, and gauntlet check from you, Thomas.
Okay, HAP is dry. Gloves, there's some black smudge from the translation, but they're in a very good state. What was the other one in Jenny's side?
We'll be hearing HAP and glove checks throughout the duration of today's spacewalk, making sure their helmet absorption pad that's on the inside of their spacesuit helmet, make sure that's dry, as well as the gloves are not scuffed up from some of the activities they're performing, mainly with their hands.
The large-small adjustable, we're attaching the large hook to the handrail with the wire-tied cables on it.
So on the lower strut, upper handrail, is that correct?
Yep, that's right. The lower strut, upper handrail. And since it's a large hook, it doesn't matter which stanchion it's on.
Okay, large hook of the adjustable.
Part of the procedures that were added to today's spacewalk to help to align the IROSA with the mounting bracket. You see it now from this great view of Thomas Pesquet, is to use a series of tethers, the tethers being wrapped around both the solar array and the mounting bracket.
Fold IROSA to full extension. Warning, there's a pinch point. Keep clear of rotating IROSA. So again, Thomas, that has you outboard.
Okay. You want to do it like the other day, tomorrow?
Yeah, okay, so let me put down local.
Yep.
Okay.
Ready?
No,
Okay.
come by. Okay, I'm ready now.
Comes.
Yeah, slowly.
And the solar array now beginning to unfold.
You have it. It's out of my hand.
I have it.
All right, looking good.
Okay, so then it's unfolded 175 Just like last time, I don't have visual on the alignment guide, but I'm guessing we're in the same situation as last time. Expected.
Okay, copy. We do have a step for you to check, but we're expecting exactly the same thing like you said. So we can have you connect your adjustable equipment tethers to IROSA. They'll both be going to the IROSA handrail, which is directly in front of you because our plan to attach to the IROSA clevis did not work.
Yep.
Shane, of course, you can help Tomas stabilize IROSA if he needs it, but your next step is to install a wire tie around the center soft capture handrail with 3 twists.
Okay, I'll get working on that.
I got the large small AT on the handrail, Jenny, and I'm going to put the small small.
Copy.
Now with the solar array unfolded, the spacewalkers will work together to help with the alignment using some adjustable tethers and wire ties. Once the solar array is aligned, the spacewalkers will grab those space drills they were using to unbolt, and they'll start bolting the solar array into place, aligned on the mounting bracket. Using the hashtag AskNASA, we got a question on Twitter. Why is it important to count the rotations when loosening the bolts? This is to avoid any stripping.
Copy, Tomas. Both those adjustables are on IROSA.
That's correct.
The next step is really us working together to try and reinstall IROSA in this new config on the mounting bracket, but we'll have Shane finish those actions with the wire tie on the middle soft capture feature prior to doing that. So, Tomas, for now, you can stand by.
Okay. I'll start working on the MLI if I can. We might touch it again, so.
Yeah, we have a step. We have a step later on for the MLI, Tomas, but we can talk it if you want to get started early. I would like to check if, from your current vantage point, can you see all 3 alignment features on the outboard side of the mounting bracket?
And you were breaking up, Jenny. I didn't copy the last half of your message. Second half.
No problem. I want to check if, from your position on the outboard side, you can see all 3 alignment features.
Good point. Can see 1, 2, 3. Yeah, can see all 3 of them.
Copy. That's good to know. Thanks, Tomas.
Good.
Jenny, I got the wire tie on, I got the adjustable connected to it, and that goes to the lower stanchion, is that right?
Yep, the stanchion furthest from the mounting bracket. Exactly right.
Should work.
Again, Pesquet and Kimbrough working together using a series of adjustable straps and wire ties to help with the alignment of the solar array onto the mounting bracket. That'll help to align all the features to allow them to bolt and secure, fully installing the IROSA to the mounting bracket and allow for a deployment later in today's spacewalk.
And Shane, we want to tighten that adjustable up as much as you think is necessary so that that soft capture feature stays down and out of the way for this troubleshooting.
Understand. All right, so we got that on there.
Copy.
All right, I'm going to tighten it up.
Good words.
Okay, and we put it all the way down and then tighten it, right?
A-firm, we want it all the way down, out of the way.
Okay. Well, it's not quite there. And I'll reach. So I can move it to the other hook so I won't put too much slack in that one.
Yeah, we have to make not the wire tie much. Go around one more time with the wire tie. Back above and back down.
No, to the other ring.
Yeah, kick the other ring. Right.
Yeah, that sounds good to us, Shane. Well done.
Okay.
Again, what's being worked on now is an addition from the previous spacewalk to help with the alignment of the IROSA onto the mounting bracket. With these straps and wire ties helping with the alignment, they'll be able to secure it using bolts to the mounting bracket.
You can ingress the APFR, and then I have big picture steps for both of you.
And once you're out, it's
Still close, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, copy.
Maybe I can even pitch it back off now. Sideways. On the right. There you go.
All right, my visor is up.
Copy.
Now entering into an orbital nighttime, the views outside the International Space Station getting a little darker as we cross over the Terminator line into an orbital night. Station 269 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean.
Yeah, Jenny, we're in position, I think.
Okay. So if, Shane, you're in the APFR, then I have big picture words on our next troubleshooting steps.
Okay, I am in.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Okay. So the plan here is we are going to try and keep the leftmost soft capture feature engaged and straighten out IROSA, then pivot it onto the mounting bracket when it's straightened out. Actually, hold, Shane, we'll have you power psych your HECA quickly. We just lost your camera view. And we're looking for a check of both green lights as well, Shane.
Waiting for next steps from the ground IV, the voice you're hearing in Mission Control Houston, Jenny Seide, giving instructions. These all troubleshooting steps, additions to help with the alignment of the IROSA to the mounting bracket. Next step is to get the IROSA into a soft dock, or soft capture rather, position.
Thanks, Shane. We're looking into it. Both, they're checking. Okay, so again, big picture, we're going to try and unfold and then pivot onto the mounting bracket, with the pivot point being the leftmost soft capture feature. So working together, Thomas, you'll be pulling IROSA outboard. Shane, you'll be pushing the right side of IROSA outboard toward Thomas, but you'll also be pulling the left side of IROSA near the hinge toward you to make sure that IROSA is fully unfolded. Does that make sense?
Jenny, are we sure that the light detent is not engaged, or is not in a way? I haven't checked that every.
The right.
It's all the way down.
All the way down?
Yeah.
From my vantage point.
Good verification.
Running it tomorrow. Okay. Hey, Jenny, what can I touch here to push and pull? VV2.
You can touch the stanchions that are sticking out toward you. Those are the canister for the folding and unfolding bolts, like R6. You can touch those and check in on the rest.
Okay. I think those will be good enough on each side. So
okay. You can also touch anything on the root beam, if that's helpful.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
And we have your...
Hi, Shane. I'm in position if you are. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I think you're gonna have to pull on the center parts, but on the left side of IROSA, and then I'll pull on the right one, and that should fold it and bring it down.
Okay, so nice and slow. I'm gonna start coming towards me.
Okay. Go for it slowly. Not going anywhere.
Yeah, you know how hard it was getting it in. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Little pulses on it I'm doing, but nothing.
Yeah, but I think it's good enough. Yeah, it's engaging.
Okay, great.
It's aligned. Okay, can you push on the right side?
Yep, I am.
I'll switch it down. Can you control the right side for a moment?
I have the right side and the left.
Okay. Okay. I think it's going good. Let me get out of the way.
A little bit out, but there we go.
Yeah. Let me go back and look. Not quite, but we're not far. Push more.
I have a lot of strength there. I mean, I'm just so far reached out. But that's all I got right there.
hard to see, but from this view we have Shane Kimbrough on the left, Thomas Pesquet on the right. He's pushing the right side of the IROSA, trying to get it into a soft capture position on the mounting bracket.
Depends. Soft capture.
Yeah, your soft capture one looks like it's still out. It may not be all the way out, but I think it's in the soft dock position.
Okay. Second.
Like it came in a little better.
That's just a lot of friction.
See it on the back?
Yeah, I see it. It slides in, but it stops.
Okay, so we're in the same situation we were.
No, it's aligned now.
Yeah, but over here on this side when we started, just had to have some more force to get it through. It's aligned, that's good news.
Yeah, but
We copy.
Got it cinched down over there with the adjustables?
not entirely down, but mostly down. The thing is, I can't get a good body position here.
Yeah.
Short handover.
On these struts.
No, I don't.
Another handover period, losing video from the International Space Station as the station orbits the Earth, handing over from TDRS, or tracking a data relay satellite, to TDRS. We'll be regaining some of that video shortly. The last view you saw was from the helmet camera of Shane Kimbrough. Kimbrough working with Pesquet, who was to his right. Kimbrough was at the very center of the IROSA. They were working to soft capture the right side of the IROSA, the left side secured, to the mounting bracket.
Okay, cool.
Back with you after handover.
It's lining up, Jenny. I don't know if you see my head count, but there's still some mechanical interference.
Okay, we copy. We don't have KU band back quite yet, so we can't see your helmet cam, but from what you're telling me, there's still some interference. You felt a lot of friction when you were installing it back onto the mounting bracket, but you did get the alignment guides lined up?
Yeah, we do get the alignment.
Okay, and that's the alignment feature just on your side, Thomas, or you could see the other two as well?
I can't see all three at the same time. So if I'm checking the one on my side, I'm losing sight of the other two, especially at night.
Yeah.
But the other two are still in. Last time I saw, I think they're still in. This one is nicely aligned in the middle of the slot, but it's still not going in. It looks like I don't know what's blocking.
Okay,
I
copy.
can't see anything because I cannot poke my head now between the IROSA and the panel. There's not enough room.
Yeah, I understand. But you did get all three alignment features lined up. That's at least good news.
It's lined up, but not going in.
Tomorrow, can I release this right side or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm still controlling it.
Yeah. No.
Cool.
We might need to both of us be on this side chain and pull on it. I really don't see any other way.
Through there? Yeah.
it's a matter of pitch.
I got some pretty good force on it now. I moved over.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can try, but...
Looks like it moved there.
Yeah, but...
It definitely moved.
Yeah, okay. Looks like it moved. Don't do anything. Okay.
I'm holding it.
Go back. Yeah!
And then
Engaged.
Wow.
you want to get your pen?
Yeah.
That's great to hear. So the alignment features are engaged, and you're checking the right soft capture feature now, correct, Thomas?
Correct.
You're in?
Yeah, I think I'm in. The right soft alignment feature is sure, Jenny.
Copy. The right
Shane, I don't know what you did, but
soft capture feature is in, and the alignment is good. That sounds like you guys were able to do it. Fantastic job.
And applause here in Mission Control Houston. All of the mitigation tactics to align the IROSA with the mounting bracket have worked. The right side of IROSA is soft captured to the mounting bracket.
Confirm.
Jenny, I have eyes on all three of them, the alignment guys, and all three of them are nicely aligned all the way in, just for sanity check.
Nice.
Hey, fantastic news. Thank you, Thomas.
Bolts.
This is my PGT.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I wish it was on me.
Yeah.
They left it on me.
All right, next steps are to have Shane remove the wire tie from the soft capture feature that you tied down there, and you can stow that wire tie in your trash bag, pick up that adjustable equipment tether, and we'll deploy that soft capture feature as well.
Okay. In order.
Start driving the M35 and M36 since I'm here with the PGT in hand. I mean, does that sound like a good idea to you?
Say again, Thomas?
I'm right here with the PGT in hand, standing by to hand it over to Shane, so there's M35 and 36 right in front of me.
Checking.
No rush, Jenny. Shane will be ready in 30 seconds. It's just in case.
So you can go ahead and knock those out. Yeah.
Copy. All right. I have next steps for you. We're kind of back on a more nominal timeline, so we're just getting reconfigured here on the ground. You guys have done a great job to get us back on track. After stowing that wire tie and adjustable Shane, you'll be at the crew lock bag, and Thomas, you will be driving R7 and R8, which are the hinge bolts. So for that, we're going to have you ingress the APFR in the center of IROSA. So Shane, you can...
Shane do it right now? I mean, in the APFR.
There's other stuff I got to do.
That's my PG.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jenny. We don't want to jump the gun. Whatever makes sense for you guys, but...
Yeah, we're just making sure. I want to be...
Shane could knock those off.
I want to be absolutely sure before I give you guys the next steps. So stand by one.
It's related to you. We're still related to the bag.
Still to the bag. Oh, now why don't we just change that now?
Yeah, great. So, I'll do it. Right. Now I'm going to use you as a translation.
Yep.
Okay, I have an answer for you guys. Shane, you can drive the hinge bolts. So again, you'll be using Thomas' PGT for that. But since you're in position, it's no problem if you do that. We'll just have Thomas move to the crew lock bag to retrieve the AMS knob, which you'll need to snug those bolts up.
Okay, sounds good.
And Shane,
Just a minute here, we're getting reconfigured.
copy. And Shane, we think you'll be able to reach both of the hinge bolts from the APFR, but you might not be able to reach the topmost one. Just let us know if you have any issues there. The bottom one is R8, which we can start with.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I may have to roll over a little bit, but I'll check it out here in a minute.
Free from the bag, Shane.
Copy.
Okay, and did the other rack go back to the bag?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Thanks so
When
much.
you get your PGT, right? Yeah. That's all good.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, except I need the bag now.
Let me, yeah, CR8. Yeah, I don't think I can reach R7. Maybe they wanted your height on here. You want to swap out?
They can swap, it's okay. Yeah.
So, Jenny, sorry about that. I'll hop out of the APFR. I cannot get R7 for sure. And, well, I'll have a better shot at it.
Okay, understood. That's no problem. We'll just follow the timeline as written.
Might have to roll it one or two tomorrow. You can check it out when you get over there. Yeah.
And Shane, can I just confirm that that middle soft capture feature is engaged and you've stowed the wire tie and the AET?
I'm working on the AET right now. It is in the soft capture is engaged, and the wire tie is in my trash bag.
Copy. Great work. Thomas, you can ingress the APFR and ready your PGT.
Okay.
So the tethers and wire ties that were used to help to align IROSA with the mounting bracket, that mitigation strategy worked. They're gathering some of that equipment and getting staged for fully installing the solar array to the mounting bracket. There'll be a series of driving some bolts. So they'll each have a pistol grip tool or a space drill, and they'll work to engage some of those bolts on the mounting bracket.
Shane, I don't know why.
Glove inspection, hap check, and gauntlet check.
Oh, okay.
Copy.
Got it.
Okay, gloves look good. A small smudge on the right ring finger. Probably just from translation, like Tomas said. And dry hap and gauntlets are down.
We copy. Good checks. Thanks, Shane. You can retrieve the AMS knob with a 6-inch wobble from the crew lock bag.
Okay, Mark.
I'm in the APFR. Oh yeah, I need some roll.
Yeah.
Copy, Thomas. We'll have you ready your PGT, and then we'll see if you can reach.
On a roll pedal for me, Shane, with your foot, or is it too far?
Sure.
If it's too complicated, I'll do it. I'll pop the foot out.
I got it.
Got it?
I go with do like that. Put my hand just like it. Right.
Tell me when it's good.
Okay, I'm going to depress the pedal. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Not going anywhere. Moving. I'll try to pop the foot.
It's fully depressed.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not moving. I think it's max. I think we cannot because the pitch is 90 degrees. Okay, I think I'll have to do it like this. Never mind.
Sorry about that.
Alright. Wow. Okay. Let's try. And Jenny, I'm ready for settings if you have settings for me.
Alpha 1, clockwise 2.
God, it's a small one. Alpha 1, clockwise 2.
Affirm.
And Alpha 1, clockwise 2. That's off.
You'll be driving R7 and R8, 13 turns only, 1-3.
Jenny, my PGT is off, so. Okay, Alpha 1, clockwise, checking once again.
Affirm, and we're looking for 13 turns only, 1-3.
13 turns on R7 and R8.
Good read back. Shane, you can retrieve the AMS knob, and following that, we'll still have you at the crew lock bag. If you want to get ahead, your next step is to retrieve the cap keeper as well.
Okay.
You're seeing Thomas Pesquet using the pistol grip tool to drive some of the bolts necessary to secure the solar array in this configuration to the mounting bracket. Meanwhile, Kimbrough is retrieving something called an AMS knob. This will be used after the pistol grip tool to finger tighten or hand tighten these two bolts.
Jenny, sorry, I gave it more turns. I gave it 17 turns because I couldn't see anything. It's at the very end of my reach, but I gave it 17 turns. I have green light and good torque of 2.4.
Copy, green light.
On R7.
2.4 on the torque and 17 turns. We're just talking that turn countdown here.
Please don't make me undo it. Can't get the AMS knob on R7 from the APFR. Probably not. That's too high. I have to climb on the IROSA. Okay, I can use this. Yeah. Still not good. Not bolted yet. Nope. One sec. Jenny, while you're talking R7, do you want R8 driven?
Yep, you can start on R8, Thomas. Remember, 13 turns only. Understand that the other bolt was a bit high. It was difficult to see. We're going to have you back out the other bolt, R7, 2 turns.
Even with a good torque and a good green light? Okay.
Again.
So here's for you. I might have to get to R8 with the AMS tool. In any case, I have to climb on the IROSA. I cannot do it from the APFR. The end bolts are not driven.
Copy. We have some body position options that will help you reach that outside of the APFR.
So I have 13 turns on R8, but no torque and no green light.
Copy. That's a good config.
Config? Okay. Now let me, what are your settings for backing out R7, Jenny?
Checking.
So there are 2 bolts to secure the hinges. Right now you're getting a helmet camera view from Thomas Pesquet's helmet camera. He's looking at the center of the IROSA, and these bolts will secure the hinges that help to unfold it. They need to be hand tightened, so they're only going to do 13 turns and then use another tool called the AMS knob to hand tighten the remaining torque.
Okay. One turn.
Copy, 2 turns.
All right.
You can store your PGT and receive the AMS knob from EV2. You're going to be torquing both of those bolts to just snug, so around 2 turns each. understand you might have some constraints reaching the uppermost bolt. We'll talk about that when you get there, but you can start on R8.
Okay. Doesn't ratchet that tool, Jenny. To turn by hand.
Yeah, 2 turns, yeah.
It's turned by hand. It's not a ratchet tool.
Yes. Is the lead pulling on it?
Yeah, 2 reps there.
From this view, you see Pesquet has that AMS knob. It's a hand-tightening tool, just a delicate 2 turns to secure the hinge bolts that help to unfold the IROSA.
I think it needs a lot more than 2 turns to be snug, Jenny, so you want me to keep going with the AMS tool?
Just until snug.
Okay, it's going to take, I think, maybe 5-ish turns, I think. Sorry, my 17 turns from the top might not be that bad. I want to find a reason.
And Thomas, like we said, that's too snug. We had a turn estimate of 2 turns, but it might take more as you're finding out.
Yeah. Yeah, I've given it like 5 or 6 turns and I still see maybe 2 millimeters to go.
Copy.
And then okay, I'm snug now and tight.
Copy. The bolt is snug.
So done for R8. Okay, and Jenny, my question I guess is, can I translate on the IROSA even though the end bolts are not driven? To R7?
Thomas, you can use the root beam. Just make sure that you don't touch the blankets as always, but the root beam is fair game even if the end bolts are not driven.
Okay. The beam is going to be good enough to get up there. Up to you. Yeah. Back to you. Egress the APFR and climb up.
Nice. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
With the first of 2 hinge bolts tightened to be just a little snug, Pesquet now moving into a position to allow him to reach that upper bolt and do the same thing.
Again, sorry. Sure. Another tether here.
There you go.
And Shane, if you haven't done so yet, you can prep the cap keeper from the crew lock bag. We'll be transferring that to Thomas and using it to remove the caps from the NZGLs.
Copy. It's right there in front of them, ready to go.
Back into it.
Copy. Well done.
Snug. Okay. Now what?
Cap keeper. It's right here tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
They can just leave it to the bag and.
Yeah. Well, for this, that would be nice to be near your phone, but
Got it?
Got it.
We copy that R7 is snug. And that's right, you'll be removing the caps. You can keep the cap keepers stowed to the crew lock bag or redded to the crew lock bag.
This works tomorrow.
Making progress. Constant improvement. Matters. Okay, here's one cap. That's
Yes. And EMS now is back in the crew like back, Jimmy.
Copy, Shane.
the 3 tabs.
Copy.
Four. Back at you, Shane.
Got it. Nicely done.
ZTL. Oh, and bolts.
Copy. We're talking next steps. It's likely going to be M bolts. I'll have words for you shortly.
Just put away tomorrow and I'll come here. I'll get that R7. Sweet.
That was fun.
All right, big picture for you guys, considering the time we have left in this eclipse. It's only about 2 minutes. So we're going to move on to driving M bolts. It's crew preference who drives the M bolts. Again, we just have one PGT with the correct socket, which is the green PGT, or Shane's PGT. We are 1 hour away from the next working eclipse where we will be able to do the full cable config at the legacy panel. So the other crew member, whoever is not driving bolts, will head outboard and disconnect the cable harnesses from one another, that cleanup step that we did at the end of last EVA. We will not be touching the legacy panel at this time.
Okay, that sounds good.
You want me to drive first, drive these, and you do your connectors, and then we'll swap?
I think it makes sense.
Okay.
Did you get into your APFR?
Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah. Let me take my local and be out of your way. So Jenny, the plan, I don't know if you heard, is that Dan will drop the bolts on his side while I'm cleaning up the connectors on my side, and then we swap roles.
That sounds great to us.
And another cleanup step is also to retrieve those adjustables at some point, not now, but something we can do as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking here. We might have you take a look at cleaning up those adjustables as well, but I'll have a confirmation for you soon.
Okay.
2 hours into today's spacewalk, the spacewalkers have their next steps. There are 4 bolts that need to be driven on the right side of the solar array to secure it in place to the mounting bracket. In the meantime, the other crew member will work on routing some cables and cleaning them out, getting them ready for the connections. We're about to enter into an orbital sunrise, which means the sun will be shining on the solar arrays, and the arrays will be producing power. Some of the next steps after bolting the solar array to the mounting bracket include connecting some of the cables. We need to be in an eclipse or in an orbital nighttime in order to start that work to reduce the electrical current flowing through the solar arrays. So the astronauts will be working on the bolts during an orbital sunrise and connecting the electrical cables during an orbital nighttime.
All right, Jenny, I'll get my PGT set up here in a sec.
Copy, Shane. Your settings are Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Bravo 5, clockwise 2, set.
And we do have a preference that you start driving bolts in the center of the mounting bracket. So we have written starting with M35 if able, but understanding you're splitting those bolts with Thomas.
one is 35, the inmost on the right side. Yeah.
Affirm.
Oh, you can, well,
Yeah, I could probably get that.
Copy. We're looking for 11 to 13 turns. It'll be to hard stop, and the black line will be flush.
2, 3, 4, 5. I can read. 6. That's teamwork right there, Shane. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Got low torque.
Any green light there, Jenny?
Yeah, we want these driven to torque.
Need some more? No, still not.
Yeah, I just can't.
Oh, you got it.
Got it.
Yeah, green light.
Okay. And black line flush, looks like.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Tomas.
Hey, no worries. Do my work now. Connectors.
All right, Bravo 5 going for
Thank you.
M34, Jenny.
Copy, M34.
All right, cable's disconnected on my side, Johnny.
Copy, Tomas. And go back, Shane, when able. Can you report torque and turns for M35 as well?
Was 13 turns and the torque was 22, Jenny. 22.
Copy, 22 on the torque and 13 turns. Thank you.
Okay, for M34, 22 and 12.87 turns. Green light.
Copy, 22 on the torque, 12.87 turns. Green light and check black line flush.
Black line flush.
Copy. Shane, it looks like your helmet might be touching the blankets. Just a reminder to back off. If we have trouble reaching those bolts, we can egress the APFR.
Okay, on M32, 22 on the torque, 13.47 turns, green lights.
22 on the torque, 13.47 turns, green light on M32. Check black line flush.
And black line is flush. Come on, is my helmet clear if I'm down here?
Yeah, and there's that R6 extension that's also really close to the visor.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, you see that. And as long as you're clear of this and you don't go up, that'll be good.
Thank you.
That's 3-4 centimeters now.
Get the torque on that one.
You're getting a view from the helmet camera of Thomas Pesquet looking at Shane Kimbrough. He's in the suit with the white stripes, or the unmarked suit, driving the bolts on the left side, making sure they're secure over there.
22, 12.87 turns, green lights, and black line flush.
Copy, black line flush, green light, 12.87 turns, and 22 on the torque for M33. Ready for M31, and we're still showing your helmet pretty close to those blankets, so we'll have you egress the APFR for the final bolt.
Well, this way might even be more comfortable out of the APFR. I can hold it for you.
Copy. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. The BRT now.
Yeah, that's your vacuum.
Kimbrough has 3 of the bolts on the left side driven. He's going to get out of the foot restraint to drive that 4th bolt.
Copy. I'll get that together for you.
Got it.
I have that data for you. We're at PET of 2 hours and 7 minutes, EV1 MEDOX 7 hours, and we are 53 minutes until our working eclipse for cable connections.
Jenny, it sounds all great.
Yeah, you guys are doing fantastic. Plenty of time.
Engage that one. It's just not engaging tonight.
M31?
Yeah. On it nicely. Let's see if I can come from the other side.
And Shane, if it's difficult to engage, you can start it by hand if needed.
Okay, there.
From the helmet camera of Thomas Pesquet, just hand tightening some of the bolts while Kimbrough gets into position to drive that 4th and final bolt on the left side. They're counting down to an eclipse or an orbital nighttime where no power will be drawn by the station's solar arrays, and they can make the electrical connections necessary to augment the power that IROSA, the solar array they're currently working on, will be providing to the 2B power channel. That work needs to be done in an orbital nighttime. In the meantime, we're handing over some of our visual communications from the International Space Station. That video coming from TDRS, or Tracking and Data Relay satellites. We're just handing over between the satellites now, should be regaining those views shortly.
That was 13 and a half turns, 22 on the torque.
Nice.
Black line flush.
Copy. I just caught that. We're
What's the cables?
back with you after a handover. So that was M31, 22 on the torque, 13 and a half turns, green light, and black line flush.
I'll have to stay here with you unless you swap over to a ret.
I might not reach if you're just grabbing the cables. That's okay.
Okay.
I'm just staying
Sure.
there. I can swap it. Right.
No, it's right here. You're right. You good. We're
Yeah,
still on
yeah.
your knees, right?
I'm ready for M36. I got Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Good settings. Your go for 36.
Getting video back from the International Space Station, Shane Kimbrough completing his 4 bolts on the left side. Thomas Pesquet has 1 bolt driven on the right side. He hand tightened a couple of them. Now with the pistol grip tool or the space drill in hand, he'll complete the installation of the 3 remaining bolts on the right side of the solar array.
I got 13 turns, torque of 22.0, and green light.
Copy M36, torque
You done?
of 22, 13 turns, green light, and check black line flush.
Black line flush, working on M37.
Copy M37.
Journey for 82, my connectors are teammated.
Copy, Shane.
Do you want me to get the adjustables off the IROSA or leave them?
Just getting the final check for you, Shane.
Okay.
11 turns on M37, 22.2, and green light.
Copy 11 turns, 22.2, green light, and I'll check black line flush on M37.
Black line flush, Jenny, sorry, yeah, forgot that.
No problem. You can move on to M38, and Shane, you can clean up your adjustable tethers on the outboard side of IROSA.
Okay, Mark.
Green light, 22, 10.5 turns on M38, Jenny.
Copy, green light, 22 on the torque, and that was 11.8 turns. Check black line flush on M38.
It was 10.4 turns, sorry, and on M, black line is flush.
Copy, 10.4 turns, and black line is flush on M38. So that's the final M bolt driven. Well done, you two. You can either temp stow Shane's PGT or give it back to him. Thomas, you're going to be cleaning up your adjustables also on the outboard side of IROSA.
Yep. And let me know when you're ready for.
Got it.
Got it?
Thank you. I have 2 adjustables that I cleaned up. The IROSA.
Copy, Shane. Next steps for you shortly. Shane, once you've stowed your PGT, we'll have you start by connecting the NZGLs on the inboard side of IROSA, J1 through J4.
Copy, Jimmy.
With all 8 bolts securing the IROSA to the mounting bracket, the astronauts are now doing some cleanup steps using some of the adjustable tethers that were used to help with the alignment of the IROSA to the mounting bracket. They'll clean up some of those. There are a few cables that they're able to connect ahead of the eclipse or the orbital nighttime, so they'll get into those tasks, get a jump start, and then once the station goes into an orbital nighttime and the solar arrays, the legacy solar arrays are no longer drawing power. They'll be able to make some of the electrical connections that are necessary during the eclipse. It has to happen during an orbital nighttime. Everything on track so far to meet that deadline. Will they be able to make the necessary electrical connections?
Okay, Jimmy, I'm ready. I think I have P1 here.
Copy.
And no FOD, no bent pins, good EMI band. Both sides look clear.
Copy. Good checks.
Yeah, I've retrieved my 2 adjustables there on my main workstation.
Copy, Thomas. That sounds good. If you're not conflicted with Shane, we understand the NZGL workspace is tight. You can also connect the NZGLs 3 and 4, but it might just be a 1 crew member job. In that case, I'll have words on your next steps soon.
Hey, Jimmy, P1's made it to J1, and we're locked over center.
Copy. P1J1 mated over center.
Jenny, I can give you those checks in the meantime.
E2 now, no FOD, no bent pins, good EMI band. Both sides look clear.
Good checks on P2J2 and to my copy. I'll be taking checks from you for 3 and 4.
Okay. 4, J4, good pins, no FOD, EMI band, and 3J3, no FOD, good pins, EMI band. Those are nice and clean connections.
Okay, J2 is mated, Jenny, or P2 to J2, sorry.
Copy. P2 to J2 mated. Check lever over center, and I copy good checks on 3 and 4.
Over center. Are you going for it?
Yep.
Let me get out of your way. All right, I'm clear, Tama.
Okay, I'm moving in, and Jenny, I'm ready to connect P4 to J4 if you concur.
Concur.
Hey, P4 is connected to J4, lever over center.
Copy. P4 J4 mated over center.
P3 to G3, lever mated over center.
Copy. P3 and J3 mated over center. All right, well done. All the NZGL connectors are mated. I have a caution for you. Avoid contact with the cables when they are attached to IROSA. You guys have gotten yourself in a great config ahead of the working eclipse, which is still 42 minutes away. So that means we are going to send you to some cleanup steps until we have that working eclipse and we can move to the outboard cable connections. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. And you're ready.
Thomas, you can release your fair lead and relocate your APFR from the original EVA to WIF 29, which is on 4 Bravo.
Release my fair lead and my, let's call it the corner APFR to the other side on the 4 Bravo side.
Affirm. And Shane, similarly, you'll be relocating your APFR, which is now in WIF 38. You're moving it to 4 Bravo WIF 17, 17.
Copy, 17.
Nice. All right, APFR to 4 Bravo.
Affirm.
my safety tether look all right?
Just 1 second.
Yeah, let me get a chance. Make sure it's not behind me.
Is tether, rotate towards your left shoulder. It's behind you. So you have to swing your legs up, like you cross your right shoulder, and forward. No. I think it'll be easier if you come towards me a little bit. Like nice, you swing your legs in direction of the IEA.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of inboard.
Okay, something.
Yeah. More. And then above. Yeah, it's coming. Your sport. I think it's between your legs now. You can clean it. Oh, wait. Come.
Look, did it come through there?
It's between your legs. So you have just your left leg in motion. Inboard. Inboard. Yeah. Yeah, and then bring it up. Bend your knee, bend your knee, bend your knee. And then outboard. Yeah. Now it's to your left. There you go. Right there. Across your body.
Perfect. Thanks, bud.
Good bet. Anytime. Okay. APFR.
Okay, I'll look at this.
Have a red on the APFR.
I do as well.
Copy.
That's one. I remember. I don't like this one. Okay.
All right, I got it on the RET and BRT.
So we're talking how much extra time that we have here, and we do have a get-ahead to check a couple of whiffs with these APFRs, which is on the way to where you'll be installing them for the next EVA. So I'm preparing some words for you to check an intermediate whiff prior to installing them on the 4 Bravo side, just so you guys know.
Hey, Jenny.
Make sure we got time to get ready for the connectors.
Yeah. That's the main point.
Yep, that's what we're talking down here. We want to give you guys plenty of time to prepare for those connectors. So I'm just telling you what the conversation is down here, and we're keeping that in mind.
Two astronauts doing very well on their timeline today, securing the IROSA to the mounting bracket. The next steps comes about 30 minutes from now. They're waiting for an orbital sunset.
Hold here, stop translating. It looks like your HECA, your helmet camera assembly has come unattached. Correction, your IRCA.
Yeah, I can see that, Shane.
Okay. I'm holding here.
Copy. We're looking at it now.
Do you want me to go to Shane or go relocate the APFR and go to Shane afterwards? That's something I can fix here.
Any nearby?
Checking Tomas. For both crews, Shane and Tomas, we're going to put your APFRs in any nearby WIF. So drop off your APFRs, and we're going to work the IRCA.
Okay.
With this problem popping up, it's probably clear to you guys, but just so that we're on the same page, we're not going to be relocating those APFRs now. We're just going to be fixing this IRCA and then getting in position. We have around 33 minutes until the working eclipse starts.
Copy. Copy.
Jenny, my APFR is in with 18, black on black. Good pull test. Oops. Again, good pull test, good twist test. And pitch knob is out.
Copy. Good checks, and your APFR, Shane, is installed with 18, 1-8.
So again, the IROSA is secured with all bolts to the mounting bracket. The astronauts are now buying time until an orbital nighttime where they can work on connecting the remaining electrical cables. They got a few cables connected already, some data cables that did not require an orbital nighttime in order to connect them. They're going to secure these portable foot restraints for now, and Pesquet is going to go over to Shane Kimbrough and address a helmet camera issue. Just make sure that's secured to his suit. Make sure they get good views from the helmet cameras of both astronauts, because they're both going to be setting up for connecting those electrical cables come the eclipse or the orbital nighttime. So they'll just make sure everything is set before they enter into those next critical steps.
Right. Bad? Face you or what? I don't know. Did you have words, or I was just trying to figure it out?
We don't have specific words for you yet, Toma. Anything you can tell us about how it came unattached will be helpful. We're talking how to re-secure it down here.
So I don't know how it came unattached, but it's a floating above Stan's head. It's kept in place by the connectors. And I don't exactly know how to reattach it.
Toma, we're talking down here. There's no way to kind of re-engage it, so it's nice to give Shane pats on the head, but we don't think that'll do the trick.
Do you want me to put a tether on it?
We're talking about it.
Yeah. Kept in place by the cables, not ideal, but yeah. Can you rotate your left, Shane, so I can see the other side?
So what you're looking at is the helmet camera assembly with the lights that are affixed to the top of Shane Kimbrough's suit. Pesquet will work on a procedure to try to secure that helmet assembly to the top of Kimbrough's suit. Those lights will be needed for some of the upcoming procedures to shine onto the cables that they'll need to connect. So the ground teams here in Mission Control are working on a solution to figure a way to affix that camera assembly to Kimbrough's EMU or spacesuit?
We're probably going to have to use a tether or a wire tie or something, but we're still looking for the exact words on how to get this reattached. We won't be able to just push it on because you'd have to basically deconflict and move 2 tabs out of the way to get it back on nominally.
Understand. I can have a tether going to the bracket itself. Sleeve is going to keep it attached. And then we have a wire tie around that knob on the right side of the helmet that opens and closes the visor, but then that means you keep your visor down the rest of the time. Oh, that's all right. I think I'll do that. We'll see if they say you offered it up. We'll see if they come up with. You have a ret from the Me workstation that you could spare? Sure. Hey Jenny, my suggestion here is a ret to the bracket from Shane's Me workstation, so at least it's secure, it's not going to go anywhere. And then I'll wire tie on the. Do a good job on the knob that lowers and raises the sun visor, at least on one side, and then hopefully on the other side too. I have plenty of adjustables if those will help.
We're happy with that plan, and
to go back to your...
just to confirm, Shane, you will not be able to actuate your visor with that wire tie in place. That's correct.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, I think the best is you have to go back to your Me workstation, tether coming from somewhere on the right. Right? Yeah, the right of your T-bar, and then I'll put it somewhere on your helmet. Okay. You got it? Yeah. This one has the pick pin, huh? Yep. All right. Location to accept. Okay, I have a red on it. It's unlocked, you lock it. Can you unlock it, Shane? Yeah. I can get in a better position for you, let me know. No, it's good for now, it's just that I don't have... You don't want us to hold on? Holds. Want this one? What? This handhold here? I think like this is not too bad. Can you hold it with one hand? Everywhere. On your, like, as best you can. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Try to wire tie it. There. There's a wire tie. Okay, still holding it down. Like it slipped off there. I have to move. My local tether's too far away.
The visor's like halfway right now, so which position you're going to put it in?
I might unplug for something. I don't know what that is.
You want to go to the bracket?
No, I want to go towards your right side.
Can I help?
No, but I'll bring the visor down.
Thank you.
It doesn't really catch anything, fortunately. Slippery. I think I'm onto something.
A creative solution by Thomas Pesquet to secure the helmet camera assembly with the lights in particular needed for the upcoming procedures to connect some electrical cables in orbital nighttime using a wire tie to temporarily secure the helmet camera assembly to Shane Kimbrough's suit, allowing him to see the cables that he will be connecting. There are only a few cables needed, and these cables do need to be connected during an orbital nighttime.
This is okay, you'll be able to move it. But yeah, the visor will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not using the visor.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, right side is done.
Thank you.
Gonna look great.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah, no, yeah. No, you can let go, you can take a break.
Yeah.
And be working on that side. I'll be looking great.
To the man.
It will be better than before.
That's a good position here?
It is a great position. Hey, Jenny, how much time we still have in the eclipse, in that installation?
Copy. We still have 21 minutes until our working eclipse.
Be okay. Oh.
Yeah, I want to mind if you need it.
All right, thanks for that troubleshooting and Thomas getting your buddy back in a good config. While you're still with Shane, if we could get you to turn on his HECA, we'd also appreciate that because that got turned off in the process.
Yeah. Stand by for a minute.
He's going to do another wire tie, Jenny.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Not done.
Got it.
Can you come towards me a little bit? And bring your head pitch up, body up. Nice. Okay. Yeah, good.
So again, a creative solution by Thomas Pesquet to secure the helmet camera assembly to Shane Kimbrough's suit. That'll provide him nice lighting and of course the camera views for the teams here on the ground to monitor the steps that are critical to occur during an orbital nighttime. These are electrical cables, so they need to occur during nighttime so the solar arrays on the 2B channel are not drawing any power. The plan now is to secure the helmet camera assembly using these wire ties, get Shane Kimbrough in a good configuration, and then the two will make their way over to the worksite, get in position, and wait for sunset.
Let's go. towards me. Here, no, so.
Turn.
Yeah.
My other hand on this hip.
It got loose. I think it's possible to put back. Okay. Can you hold it now? No, with your right hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's already part 2. Almost. Got it.
Nice.
Out.
There we go.
I know it's moving a little bit. Don't let go. I'll bring it forward a little bit if you can. No, no, not the lamp. Bring the lamp back up. Pitch up the lamp. The lamp. The light.
The light. What am I doing with it?
Pitch it up.
Pitch it up.
Yeah. Up. No. I'll have to redo everything. Yeah. I could go around. Can go around the helmet first valve.
You have a red on it, right?
Yeah. That thing to hold on to. That's not good. No. No, there's nothing good. Nothing to attach it to.
We copy, Thomas.
I can attach it to the safer tower. Safer tower is probably the best option. I can do that. You're saying, there's another try.
Thanks, Tamar. Hold it.
Hold it, because I'm going to pull on it a little bit.
Okay.
We're keeping an eye on the time, and we're only going to work this for about 2 more minutes. And at that point, we're going to move both of you in position on Shane's side of the cables, considering this helmet issue. And then we'll talk the cable forward plan from there.
Yes, I think I'm up to something.
Copy.
Yeah. Okay, I think the right side is good. Shane, rotate. Go to your right side. No, your right side. Right side. Your right side on the IA. To your right side. Put your right shoulder on the IA.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I copy that you guys think it's in a good config.
Yeah, I think for now it's in good config.
All right.
I'll have to redo the wire tie on the right, but I think for now it's not going anywhere. I try not to bump your head.
Understand.
So
I can use the visor or no?
yes, you can. Jenny, if I have 2 more minutes, I'd like to give a try to the wire tie on the right side, please.
Guys, we can revisit this.
All my work might be undone.
We can revisit this after the cables, but at this point, we're going to have to get you in position both on the left side of the mounting bracket for Shane's cables.
Okay, but I'm going to have to redo everything from the beginning, but okay. Good.
Understood, Thomas. We're just up against that clock.
It's because I need both sides to hold, otherwise I cannot get something stable on just one side. So, and now right now just one side, so it's blocking. But okay, I'll do it again. Sorry to you.
Come on.
Hey, no worries. We're not far. Jenny, what do you need us? Jenny?
And Thomas,
What?
Thomas, to confirm, you're going to be following Shane to his work site. Make sure that he's in a good config. Yeah, make sure he's in a good config for those cables because we understand the limitations with the helmet lights. And then...
config in terms of lights?
Say again?
Okay, if it's, the guy's lights on, so I think it's good for now.
Okay, we're comfortable with that, Thomas. You can head to your side of the cables if from where you're currently at. Shane looks like he's in a good config.
Yeah, it does.
Thanks, Thomas.
Well, I need to come back and spend at least 10 more minutes.
Understood, Thomas. We can plan for that. We want to make sure that we get this pinch point right. We're still 10 minutes away from our working eclipse. We just need you both in position.
Minutes. Okay, we're both in position.
Copy. Understood. And Shane, for your awareness, we do not have your camera views, which is fine, but we will not be able to help you troubleshoot these cables if there is an issue.
Copy that. That's my first one, just so I can prep it.
So with a little creativity by the astronauts currently outside the International Space Station, Thomas Pesquet was able to assist Shane Kimbrough in temporarily securing his helmet camera assembly with the lights to the top of his spacesuit. He'll need the lights to connect the cables that are in front of him. You're seeing the cables that are in front of the helmet camera view of Thomas Pesquet. They are in position, ready to go. They can't start connecting the cables until they're in an orbital nighttime. Make sure no power is being drawn from the station's solar arrays, and they'll begin the electrical connections. They're both on each respective side of the station's solar arrays. They have the cables ready to go. They are in position, and they'll make the connections during an orbital nighttime. Shane Kimbrough is in a good configuration with the lights on and providing illumination of his work site. So Pesquet made his way over to his respective work sites, so they're flanking both sides of the solar array, and they'll be able to make the connections on each side. If necessary, Pesquet can go over to assist Shane Kimbrough, since he does have his helmet camera assembly with the lights and, of course, the camera views that the teams that you're seeing here in Mission Control Houston can see the work site and troubleshoot any issues as necessary.
Starting the cables at this time. But just for your awareness, Shane, you will be starting with P7, and Thomas, you'll be starting with P9.
Okay, P9. Insight. to get back tomorrow?
Yeah. That's you.
Yep.
I have a consumables update for both of you. Limiting consumable, EV1 Medox, 6 hours, 30 minutes. PET, 2 hours and 55 minutes. And I'll take a glove inspection, hap check, and gauntlet check from both of you.
It's down. Got good, nice gloves for EV1 and happy is dry.
Copy EV1.
Good gloves, dry hat, and gauntlets are down for EV2.
Good checks for EV2. We are 5 minutes out from our eclipse. I have 2 warnings for both of you. And just to be clear, I'll be giving you the go once we are at the correct time and we have all of our safing in place.
Copy.
The warnings are you must not demate the saw connectors until eclipse plus 2 minutes and MCC go. And you must maintain a 1-foot keep-out zone from any saw connectors which are demated starting 2 minutes prior to and during installation.
Jenny, I don't know if we still have you, but you were breaking up. Begin copy.
Okay, I'll read your warnings again. Crew must not demate saw cables until eclipse plus 2 minutes and on MCC go. And you must maintain a 1-foot keep-out zone from any saw connectors which are demated.
Copy.
Yeah, I don't see any demated ones here. Yes.
Another handover and some of the video coming from the space station should be regaining it soon as we enter into an orbital nighttime and the 2 astronauts begin the procedures to connect some of the electrical cables that are necessary to perform during an orbital nighttime. flight controller is monitoring the power systems on board the International Space Station, making sure that current is not flowing through the 2B power channel. An estimated 2 more minutes until the astronauts are given a go to start making the electrical connections necessary to complete the, in part to complete the installation of the IROSA.
Just over a minute until our working portion of the eclipse, and again, we'll be giving you the go when it's time.
Copy, Jenny, we're ready. Copy.
These electrical connections should be the final steps to install the IROSA to the mounting bracket. Once they complete the electrical connections and flight controllers determine everything is go to proceed, the next steps will be to deploy the solar array while the 2 astronauts are out at the worksite. There are 2 bolts that are keeping the solar arrays together. They're called launch restraint bolts, and the launch restraint, there are 2 of them that are needed to be undone in order to release both of the solar array blankets.
All right, we are go for connections. So to start, Thomas, you will be demating P9 from the blanket box, and Shane, you will be demating P7.
Is demated.
P7 is demated.
Copy?
What's your remake?
You will be mating the right side P9 alpha to panel P9, Thomas, and Shane P7 alpha to panel P7. I'll take a check for FOD, pins, and EMI band.
Can I do the cable side before? Because that's the one I had in hand, Jenny.
Affirm, Thomas?
Yes, I've swapped now. I've got the panel side, 9 alpha. Okay, never mind, Jenny.
EV2, notified, no bent trends, good EMI band.
Copy, good checks.
Same for EV1.
Copy.
Before given the go to connect the cables, the astronauts inspecting the inside of them for any foreign object debris, making sure they're clean before making the connection.
Made it for EV2.
Copy. P7 alpha mated to P7 for EV2. You can move on to J7 alpha to the SAW cable P7.
Okay, that's in work. And good pins, notified, good EMI band for EV2.
Good check, Shane.
And it's mated.
Copy. J7 alpha mated to P7. Shane will have you move on to P21. You can demate that connector from the blanket box power panel, P21.
Okay, in work.
The P9 is mated to panel. I'm working on J9 alpha.
Copy. P9 alpha.
And P1 is disconnected, demated.
Copy. P21 demated. And for Thomas, looking for your checks on J9 alpha.
Yeah, good check on J9 alpha.
Copy, Thomas. Shane, we're looking for checks and connections.
J9 Alpha is mated.
J9 Alpha.
Mating P23.
Mated to P9, moving on to P23 for Thomas. Shane, you'll be connecting P21 Alpha to P21.
Okay, no fire, no bent pins, getting in my van, going for the connection now.
Copy, Shane.
And good check on P23 for Thomas and going for the connection.
Copy, Thomas. Those are good checks on P23 Alpha. You're mating to panel P23.
A lot of memory in this cable.
Yeah, struggling with this one.
All right, P23. Okay, P23 on the panel is connected to P23 Alpha.
Copy, P23 Alpha to P23.
Connection, P23 Alpha, and I'm out good pins. I'm looking at P23 and I'm making that connection.
Copy, good checks. And Shane.
Jimmy, I'm going to move on to my last one and then come back to this one if that's all right.
Copy, that sounds fine to me. Shane, you'll be mating J21 Alpha to P21.
And no bent pins. Good. Copy. No bent pins, getting in my van.
Good checks.
Okay, P23 connected to J23. I got all 4 connections made. Good checks, Jenny.
Nicely done. Tomorrow.
Copy, well done, Thomas. I agree, those are your final connectors.
One more to go here. All right, Jenny, I've got one more to go. I got that last one, the 4th one.
Thomas, that was J21 Alpha to P21, you said?
23.
Okay, Jimmy, for EV2, the 221 connections are now done.
Copy. Those are all of our connectors. Well done, both of you. Plenty of time left. Now I'll have you secure the strut MLI over the mod kit fasteners. You can use wire ties as needed.
Okay, give it a shot here.
I think it's pretty good on that side, Jenny. What do you think?
We're looking, Thomas.
The bolts.
I'm using those kind of internal wire thingies.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Helped out.
We're assessing it, you guys. Again, we can see your helmet cam, Thomas, but we don't have eyes on Shane's side.
And he's doing great. I think the MLI is wrapped. Shane's side looks good too.
Yep, agree.
Not going to win no beauty contest, but the whole metallic structure is wrapped around MLI.
All right, copy. We're discussing down here. Thomas, we're happy with your side of the MLI. Still discussing Shane's. Question going back to the cables for both Shane and Thomas. We don't want you to head back to the cable connections because we're doing some safing steps now, but since we don't know what these are like on orbit, could you report whether when you mated to the panel you felt a click, like the wing tab connector went over a connector?
Yep, absolutely. On all four of them, you feel a click.
Once you get it kind of lined up, you know, it seats, and then you can rotate it nicely, and you get a feel the click. Yeah.
Perfect. And that was on the cable side as well? You felt that little detent click?
Both. On all four of them. Both.
Yep. Agree.
Okay, great. Thank you for the confirmation. We're talking to MLI.
With 20 minutes of nighttime to spare, the electrical cable connections are complete. Now the astronauts will continue some of their additional work, including covering with multi-layer insulation. They'll also perform a test ahead of loosening those bolts necessary to unfurl or deploy the solar arrays themselves. Those bolts called launch restraint bolts. There are 2 of them, and that will be one of the next steps after all the tests to verify that the IROSA is secured and ready to deploy.
Not yet, Thomas. I should be able to tell you shortly.
I want the views from it. I know that.
The long wire tie.
That's it?
Yeah. It's going to be great if you bump it and it's going to float off. I mean, there's a rod on the cable, so it's not going to go anywhere.
It's not going anywhere, yeah.
At least it's going to make it more stable. It's actually stable in 30 minutes or so.
Okay, thanks for you guys'.
Another handover of the video communications coming from the International Space Station, handing over those satellites as the station continues to orbit the Earth. Again, the electrical connections that were required to be mated during an orbital nighttime were completed with a lot of time to spare. In that orbital nighttime, they're getting some of their other tasks out of the way, including covering some of the components with multi-layer insulation. We can expect tests ahead of deploying the solar arrays just to make sure everything is in shape for those solar arrays before that is made.
That we're doing down here after you guys successfully mated those cables. So, Thomas, you can translate to Shane and work the helmet cam issue.
Okay. You want to go to Thomas, same place?
So, I need access to, actually, you know what? How about we go down here? You can go down here and next to me.
Come on.
Before the electrical connections were made, Thomas Pesquet used wire ties to temporarily secure Shane Kimbrough's helmet assembly that includes the cameras and lights on top of his spacesuit. That's secured with wire ties. He's going to continue to work on that helmet with some time to spare before they get into the steps necessary to deploy the IROSA.
Right here or somewhere else closer?
Let me try to, let's see. You have to face this way.
Okay.
Like hold 2 hands on this handle. Go this one and this one here. There you go. Now bring your feet towards me. Back your right foot above, yeah. Left, yeah. Awesome.
Doing something.
Yeah, it's, your pulse is contracting. You have to bring you. Go higher. Oop. Sorry. Take.
This way?
Yeah. Okay. On your right side to me. Your left side to me. Beautiful. Okay,
good.
done.
Okay.
Okay. Oh man.
Thank you, sir.
Take that.
Get out of here. I'm kind of stuck down.
Yeah. That's your.
The HECA is the high-definition camera assembly that is on the top of Shane Kimbrough's spacesuit. The green light indicates power is flowing. Teams here in Mission Control Houston will verify the feed is coming from Shane Kimbrough's helmet camera.
It's at least it's stable for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good. Thank you, and well done.
So you're gonna let me. Do we have time, Jenny? You said 30 minutes. Do we have time? We're gonna try to fix a little bit this side now.
Okay.
A little bit more tension.
Hey, and we still have 25 minutes of that wait for a checkout on our side, so lots of time.
Okay. Do you want us to relocate the APFR or not? In those 25 minutes.
We're checking on it. In the meantime, glove inspection, hap check, and gauntlet check, please.
All right, for EV1, we got very good gloves, gauntlet in position, and dry hat.
Copy for EV1.
Two good gloves, gauntlets in position, and dry hat.
Copy. Good checks on EV2. I'll let you know shortly about the APFRs.
We're just further away. Right, takes a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Visual display.
Yep.
All right, you two. Looking at the check that we need to do here on the ground, we might have that complete as early as the end of this eclipse, which is around 11 minutes away. So best case scenario, we're ready to move with our steps in 11 minutes. So we do not want to commit you to moving those APFRs. We can help. We can have you get in position for our deployment steps and hold there.
Okay, Jenny, I think this is a good decision, and we'll do just that.
Copy. That sounds good.
We have two good high-definition camera views from each of the astronauts. That troubleshooting step on Shane Kimbrough's helmet camera worked, so we got both of those. The next steps will be to get in position during this orbital nighttime for the deployment sequence. There are two bolts that are keeping the IROSA Solar Array blankets together. These two launch restraint bolts will help to unfurl and deploy the IROSA solar arrays. They stretch out 15 feet wide, and they'll deploy to 60 feet once those bolts are undone. The whole sequence will take about 6 minutes, and we'll be able to see it real time from the helmet cameras of each of the astronauts. Once the deployment sequence is completed, they'll use the pistol grip tool to secure some tensioner bolts, keep those solar arrays secured in the fully deployed position 60 feet out. And that will complete the deployment, the installation and deployment of the first brand new IROSA solar array on the 2B channel.
I see R9 and R10, Jenny, I'm in position.
Copy, Thomas.
When you translation, I can feel the structure move.
Well, yeah, let's forward.
You're in position? I can't see you actually.
Not quite yet. Yeah, I just don't like the. All right, that's better. Yep, I'm good now.
You're getting a live look at the high-definition camera view from the helmet camera of Thomas Pesquet.
Minutes to wait in this position prior to us being able to do our checks.
Okay. Thanks, Jenny, for the information.
The astronauts are currently waiting for an orbital daytime before beginning a test. Make sure that the IROSA is secure and that all systems are go before Thomas Pesquet begins using the pistol grip tool. This is the space drill. There are 2 bolts that are securing the blankets in a rolled up position. By undoing them, the solar arrays will deploy and go out 60 feet. That whole sequence will take about 6 minutes, and then they'll use the pistol grip tool once again. Pesquet will have the tool in his hand to secure tensioner bolts and keep them tight and in place once they're fully deployed. But again, they're just standing by in position, ready to go once the sun starts to rise.
Jenny, for AV2, can you see my helmet camera views?
Hey, from Shane, we can see your helmet cam.
Okay. Hopefully that looks all right.
We can't give you too many words on that because of the light situation, but we'll be able to give you more once we're in installation. For now, it looks fine.
Sounds good. Thank you.
While the astronauts wait for the next steps to perform that test before deploying the solar arrays, we'll continue to take questions using the hashtag AskNASA. This next one comes from Michael, who's asking about the procedures. What about the procedures that they follow during the spacewalk? Are they memorized, relayed vocally from Earth, displayed on the sleeve, or a heads-up display? You can sort of see it on the left wrist of Thomas Pesquet from this helmet view. There are a few procedures, critical procedures, that they can flip through and read at any time. It's a little booklet that contains some of the procedures. Most of the procedures, though, are studied ahead of time, so they're very familiar with the procedures. In addition, there is a dedicated person here in Mission Control Houston called the Ground IV. In this case, it is Jenny Seide. She is the one that is communicating from here in Mission Control Houston, gathering the knowledge from the EVA officers, extravehicular activity officers, and the support teams here, and relaying them to the crew. She's behind, on the left of your screen there, Flight Director Ron Spencer, who's leading today's teams. In the back there, Keith Johnson, the lead EVA officer, knowing the intricate procedures and working with his teams in the back room, knowing the procedures forwards, backwards, and of course having a few crib sheets right there in the center. Jenny Seide is the voice you're hearing from Mission Control Houston. Her job is to communicate with the 2 spacewalking astronauts on the outside of the International Space Station, Canadian Space Agency astronaut. To her right, our left, Drew Feustel, NASA astronaut. It's his job to communicate with the astronauts on the inside of the International Space Station.
Three more minutes.
Astronauts continuing to hold position until that sunrise. In the meantime, we'll continue to answer some questions. This next one comes from Raj on Twitter, who's asking, will the ROSA type of solar array be used in future spacecraft and space stations? The answer is yes. These particular solar arrays are called IROSAs, ISS Rollout Solar Arrays. They're about 15 feet wide, and they were folded in half when they were delivered to the International Space Station on a SpaceX Cirrus-22 Dragon. That fit very nicely in the unpressurized trunk of the Dragon. For the gateway, they will also use ROSA technology, but it will be about twice as wide at about 32 feet. and that will provide about 30 kilowatts of power each. There are 2 designated IROSA solar arrays on the gateway planned for the power and propulsion element of the gateway, and they'll use those solar arrays to draw power as it orbits in a near rectilinear halo orbit around the moon. These are great questions coming in using the hashtag AskNASA as we await for an orbital sunrise, and the astronauts do the same. This next one on Twitter asks, do astronauts practice these spacewalks on Earth? The answer is yes. Part of becoming an International Space Station astronaut is to get basic spacewalking training with the amount of spacewalks and maintenance that's needed on board the International Space Station. What used to be dedicated spacewalks for very particular procedures is now more of a basic overview of how to perform spacewalks, how to move, and how to understand the procedures and understand the layout of the International Space Station. There is a large pool located just off the center here at the Johnson Space Center called the Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory. There are full-scale mock-ups of the modules of the International Space Station where astronauts will go in and become neutrally buoyant using a series of weights and floats that are dependent on each of their bodies, and they'll practice the procedures and understand what it's like in space. It is the best analog for practicing some of the spacewalking procedures that are needed. Some of them, some of the runs that are done are specific to spacewalks. In fact, there were some runs that were done specifically for practicing the techniques needed to install these roll-out solar arrays. Here you can see an astronaut performing some practice procedures, holding onto handrails and working with a crew lock bag, that's their toolbox, and getting familiar with the needed procedures.
2 minutes till installation.
Copy. Copy.
And with an orbital sunrise as the International Space Station flies over the middle of the Pacific Ocean, heading towards the western coast of the United States. The astronauts in position, ready to await the next set of procedures to test the IROSA, make sure it's in a good configuration before beginning the deployment sequence.
Now that we're in insulation, we can better see your viewpoint, Shane, and we want to get a good view of the magnets on the end of IROSA, so we're going to have you yaw to your right if you can manage that in your current body position.
Okay, give me a second. I'll do that a little bit more.
You can lower your sun visor, Shane, if you can. Try to grab it from the front.
Yeah, I don't want to go that far.
Okay.
Fine. Hey, Jenny, I can barely see it. I don't know if you can see it on my camera.
Not quite, just at the end of it. But we understand that you're kind of constrained in how far you can go. That's really good if you can manage that.
And
I'll go back to that once we get there, but I'll relax a bit for now.
Understood. All right, good news, you two. We have the data that we need to go for deploy. So with Shane in position, Thomas, you can ready your PGT. I have settings for you.
stand by one.
Bravo 7, counter 2.
Stand by one, Jenny.
Copy.
Okay, I copy Bravo 7.
Affirm.
Counter 2.
Bravo 7, counter 2. Good words.
And with that, Thomas Pesquet will use this pistol grip tool to undo 2 launch restraint bolts. Each will deploy the IROSA. It'll take about 6 minutes to fully deploy 60 feet.
He's driving 2 bolts, right? The second, once he releases the second one, then the IROSA will deploy, right?
Oh, that's correct.
That's correct.
You have time. I'm going to R9, Jenny.
Copy, starting on R9, 17 to 20 turns. A white line will appear when fully released.
South. Okay. Now we're talking. 3. How many turns again, Jenny, please? 17 to 21?
17 to 20.
Is fully released. I see a white line.
Copy, 17 turns, and you see a white line. R9 is fully released. We'll get Shane into position, again, yawing to his right to give us a view of the magnets, and you can start on R10, 17 to 20 turns. The white line will appear when released, and then we expect deployment, which should take over 6 minutes.
Okay, Shane, you give me a go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Going. Five turns.
Pesquet now driving the final bolt needed to deploy the IROSA.
Turns. 20 turns, but the bolt is not popped out, Jenny. I keep going.
Continue.
much. And you have 30 turns in the bolt, not popped out. I don't see a green light.
Copy, Thomas. Can we confirm, again, white lines appear on both, and both have popped out and are away?
No, stand by. No, stand by. 30 turns, no white line, both not popped out on R10.
On R7?
Copy, the bolt is not popped out on R10.
Yes, and there is no white line.
Okay, we're going to have you continue releasing R10.
Copy. Releasing. Okay. Turns 50. You see it?
Solar array deployment has begun.
Copy, well done.
Tomorrow.
From the helmet camera of Shane Kimbrough, you can start to see that solar array unfurl. The blanket's becoming clearer as it makes its way up. The full deployment sequence takes about 6 minutes.
Your positioning looks great. We can see a very good view of those magnets in your helmet cam. Thomas, we are going to have you move to the right side of the mod kit to get in a similar position viewing IROSA unfurling.
This will work. Nice and slow, Thomas. Yeah.
The first of the 6 planned IROSA new solar arrays to augment the power systems of the International Space Station started deploying at 10:24 a.m. Central Time. The International Space Station was 261 statute miles over the North Pacific Ocean, just west off the coast of California.
See the magnets, the first 4 and the 5th is snapping together as we speak. Yeah, first 5 are snapped. Good magnets.
Copy. We see that in your helmet view. Looks good, guys.
It is beautiful.
Again, the IROSA or the ISS rollout solar array is about 15 feet wide and 60 feet long. The deployment sequence takes about 6 minutes. It'll be some time until the solar array, the solar arrays themselves, the blankets, start drawing in power to confirm a good power draw. In the meantime, after the deployment sequence is complete, Pesquet has a final task to secure the...
Things looking good, you two. 30 seconds to hand over. We're going to keep you in this position.
Enjoying the view, Johnny. Copy.
About halfway done with the deployment. The solar cells will draw power over time and will later be able to confirm that power is being drawn from the IROSA. Pesquet will hold his position right in front of a series of other bolts called tensioner bolts. Once the IROSAs are fully deployed at 60 feet, he'll use his pistol grip tool or his space drill to secure those tensioner bolts and keep the IROSA fully deployed. That will be the last of the tasks on the 2B power channel. Next will be cleanup and moving some of their equipment over to the 4B side. Again, this is the first of 6 planned IROSAs that will augment the power supply of the International Space Station, continuing scientific research and technology development aboard the International Space Station for years to come. The 2B power channel provides critical power to a lot of important scientific experiments downstream. The 4B channel will be next. There's a modification kit already installed on the mast canister where the new IROSA, which is currently at the end of the station's robotic arm, that will be moved over on a spacewalk now scheduled for next Friday, the 25th. The spacewalkers' remaining tasks after securing the 2B channel will be to prepare the 4B channel and the worksite necessary for moving the new solar array over to that new power channel. IROSA continuing to deploy as the station flies 262 statute miles right over Portland, Oregon.
We do tomorrow. Yeah, nice snowy mountains. See the earth from side to side. Not bad. Oh, we have no idea.
How are you both doing in that position?
I'm doing good. I think my position is much more comfortable than Shane. I'm hanging in there.
Copy.
Danny, can you tell us which part of the world we're overflying right now?
Check-in. I can at least give you this, Shane. We have what we need from your view so you can relax and get in a more comfortable position. Thomas will keep you in position, and I'm checking for you.
Okay, thank you.
You just always know that.
What do you know? It's Canada.
I knew it. Thank you, Jenny. I think it's very fitting.
Thanks for asking. Drew Feustel's on console with me, as you know, as well. So, party down here.
Nice.
Great views of the Rocky Mountains in the background as the International Space Station flies over Canada. Jenny Seide, the ground IV here in Mission Control Houston, a Canadian Space Agency astronaut. Working next to Drew Feustel, NASA astronaut and a dual citizenship with Canada.
All right, good news, you two. You probably can see most of what we can see. We're tracking a full and good deploy of that solar array. So well done, both of you. We are going to move on to blanket tensioning bolts. So that has Thomas on the inboard side at the center of the mounting bracket.
Okay, well done, Jenny, and congrats to
All right, good news.
everybody who was involved in that project. Good now.